like 92, and then driving at slow speeds like 55 degrees.
92 and 50. Now 61.
Like normalish.
See, now the sun is getting 67 now. Uphill, 66.
Yeah, I think it's because I'm not going fast enough. Like it's just 60 k's right now. Right? Maybe this is where it all means a lot.
Cooled down by 4 degrees there. Just that squirt.
Wow.
See here. See, now it's back to 59.
100, yeah, oh sorry, 10 k's an hour. Got a bit greasy around here, eh?
Yeah. Be careful. It's pretty hot.
Wow, like up to 80 degrees.
Yeah. Crazy, isn't it? 83.
Well, it's actually hot now, eh?
Yeah, it's hot now.
Once the engine got up to temp and all the EGTs are hot.
It takes a while for it to get up to temp though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess because the cold thermostat as well. So it looks like once we got the engine up to like full operating temperature, so like warm enough, I think it got about to 92 degrees Celsius. The underhood temperatures get to about like 80 degrees.
80 degrees.
So on a sort of a bit of an incline uphill curves with about 60 k speed, it's like 80 degrees Celsius. And the more speed we got, obviously it dropped considerably to like 72 degrees. So now it's sitting at 72. And I'm going at 80 k's an hour, and the water temps are about 88. So yeah,
External temps are around.
external temps are at 17, 18.
Yeah.
So it's definite the case that the faster we go, the way cooler it gets by like 10 degrees, even 20. Steady state now, 70 degrees Celsius. 69. Just going to increase the speed a little bit. See what it gets to.
Dropping to like in the 60s now.
Yeah,
68.
yeah, if you're at highway speeds, it's like great, isn't it? 65, 56 degrees. Yeah. So if you're going through like the hills, sort of hammering the engine, not getting that much speed, it's going to climb to like 80 degrees, eh?
Yeah.
So at idle, 15 degrees almost.
Warm. 115. It's climbing, keep going.
Alright guys, so we've got the vented hood on the car. It still looks like arse obviously because I haven't painted it, but we're just basically slapped the hood on and going for another drive. Trying to do the same sort of test conditions. See, it's the same day, same temperature outside. And you can probably just see the bonnet there. There's my brother driving. So look at that. So before we were rolling along, it was a lot hotter. I don't trust my own brakes, but as long as you do, woo! 37 degrees Celsius. It went down.
Cool. Yeah, it went down.
So rolling along at 80 degrees, rolling along 80 k's an hour. That's the temperature. Fucking too many different.
Rolling along at 80 degrees, it's about 77 k's per hour.
And with the coolant temperature at about 5 k's an hour. Oh shit, man. Man, that's fucking way cooler. Don't talk to me. No, there's people saying to me like, oh, you won't get air going to the back of the bay. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe they're right. So steady cruises. I know this is not proper data logging, but I'm logging it. I'm data vlogging. data vlogging, guys. I was too cheap and I jumped the gun. And Clint wanted to buy a proper air temp probe that is like that data logs, and I am data vlogging, so I film it for you. I just couldn't. Yeah, I was looking at a lot of temperature probes on eBay, and they're all like from China, and they cost like $8, and they say they can take 90 degrees Celsius, and I was like, nah, not gonna happen. So I bought this Digitech from J-Car, which I think J-Car's a bit better. You know, and I'll go to Fahrenheit for you guys in the States for sure. You'd want to know. So 101 degrees Fahrenheit. Sorry about the guys in the States, I've not even spoken Fahrenheit. It says up to 67 now from waiting at the lights a bit. About 92 degrees water temp and 63 degrees. And that was, yeah, just gunning it hard at a slower speed. Uphill and boost. And it's steady around 70 degrees Celsius at the moment. Maz is giving a little bit of a go there. All we'll do is we'll stop up here and see what it climbs to.
Oh yeah, true. I gotta feel hot air coming out of that bonnet for sure.
It's having a spaz. 96 degrees. Mind you, I haven't welded them shut properly yet, so what's the temp now?
Like 104, 105.
Okay. Yeah, I guess even at idle, like, so without moving, it's like not a lot of air can come out, like it's not being pushed out, eh? Well, let's see what happens on the way back home.
Oh. Yeah, I think if the vent will help, it should help it. So when it's
But wait, having said that, when we got into the garage at home, it was like 115.
yeah, 115.
So this is 100 and
It's kind of yeah,
maybe a bit lower, yeah. And it's gone down a bit, which
Yeah,
is
it's gone down a bit.
interesting.
It's steady at 103 right now.
And then I want to see how quickly it goes down as we move. Yeah, it's back in the 80s now. 78 degrees Celsius, which is 168 degrees Fahrenheit. Shit myself. 60 degrees, 58 degrees. Sorry. No, it's all good. No, you do what you want. I just get scared because I'm a bad passenger. So 54 degrees Celsius. there now. Alright, so for the same condition as us coming into the garage with the fan on and a coolant temperature of whatever that is, 80?
78.
It's 107, and before it was 115 climbing. So obviously having some vents just helps even at idle a little bit. So I'll show you guys where the probe was. So I put it in the hottest part of the bay, in fact. The hottest part of the bay, which is like above the actual downpipe. And so, surprisingly actually, the stock bonnet did a pretty good job, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
So the probe is right there, and the wire running in. But yeah, there's still a difference. What's up guys? I want to quickly wrap up the video here for the stock versus vented hood. So I've got the data right here on this cardboard. I want to give you the quick breakdown as to how it all went. So obviously it's worth noting with all this information here that the car had reached its equilibrium or steady state in terms of water temperature. So that was 88 degrees to 92 degrees Celsius. Pretty much everything here was in that range as the engine was at its hottest, and the bay would have been at its hottest as well. The temperature probe is right at the back of the firewall near the downpipe, which is where I think is pretty much the hottest area in the bay. And obviously this way we would get the accurate information between two, because we left the probe where it was and swapped bonnets and drove out again on the same day. So right here, here's the information. So I hope you can see it. It's so medium cruise or medium speed driving, which is 60 to 80 k's, which I think is roughly 40 to 50 miles per hour. The stock hood registered 60 to 70 degrees Celsius in the bay temperature wise, and then the vented hood did 40 to 50 degrees. So that's a 20 degree difference. So it's 20 degrees cooler, which is I think pretty significant for that sort of speed cruising with different loads, differing loads in terms of boost and uphill and downhill. Fast cruising or fast speed driving, obviously the faster we went, we noticed the temperatures dropped real fast as the air was force fed into the bay, traveled all the way to the back and went down or up obviously with the vented hood. But so fast cruising 80 k's to 100 and above. Stock hood did 50 to 60 degrees Celsius, and the vented hood registered 30 to 40 degrees. So again, a 20 degree difference from each of the hoods. So that's again a pretty significant difference. Obviously the slower we went, the less the difference was, but still worth noting anyway. Slow speed cruising or driving under 60 k's an hour, some of it was uphill on boost, some of it was down, so it varies. That's why there's a range here. The stock hood sort of registered 70 to 90 degrees Celsius, and the vented did 70 to 80. I think maybe there was a time actually when it was 85, so my bad there. But again, there's a difference of about 5 to 10 degrees at times, but there's still a difference nonetheless. And then stationary, when we drove into this garage here, the stock hood was showing about 115 and climbing. In fact, it climbed to 116. If we left the car running for longer, it probably would have climbed to 120. And then the vented hood registered 105 to 106. If we left the car running longer, it may have got to 110, but still a 5 to 10 degree difference there as well. So 5 to 10 degree difference between these two guys, and 20 degree difference between the higher speed stuff, which I think is nothing to ignore. It's still a significant difference. There's a few people in the forums telling me that with the vented hood, the way it would actually disrupt the air as the air traveled over the top of the bonnet and there's air coming out, that the air would not actually travel all the way to the back of the bay and not cool the rear of the block or whatever. But I think that's pretty much myth busted here, as you can see, with medium
fast or any sort of cruising, the temperatures were 20 degrees cooler with these two guys up here, and that kind of speaks for itself. So don't always listen to the stuff that you hear online. I mean, obviously if I cut the bonnet differently and I put the vents in the wrong place, maybe that would be the case, but it is worth noting that I have built a partial under tray which covers the front area where the intercooler is, and then again from the lip to the intercooler, and then again from the intercooler to the radiator, I've got another tray that I've built myself out of aluminium. So maybe those things in conjunction allowed the car to work properly and operate properly, but I guess case by case it might be different. Either way, they're the results. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it's a bit long and drawn out, but maybe you will enjoy it nonetheless. The other thing I want to quickly show you is, God, I've got these massive brakes. Now they are heavy as F. They are from a Mercedes R350. They're 330 millimeters in diameter versus the factory 300. I feel like they're at least 6 to 8 kilos heavier per rotor. I could be wrong. So there's a lot of weight that has been gained there. And then I'll sort of combine them with the Brembo 4 pots from the Mercedes S500. I'm not sure if you can see that, but they are actually Brembos as well. And so this is the next thing that I'm going to be putting on the car and doing a video for you guys once the wheels arrive, because I can't fit the normal wheels that I have on now around these guys. So thank you for watching. Of course, if you enjoy the content, please give me a like and subscribe, and maybe share it with your mates as well. Helps us make more videos. Thanks.